Hi everybody, welcome back to the Mom's View. We've got the good crew of mamas up in here. We've got Katilette, Angel, Kayli, and me. Yay. And we're super excited because today's episode is sponsored by Target.
Target!
So exciting.
Since it's back to school time, we are so excited that Target is bringing awareness to the lack of school supplies for kids. And that's really important, obviously. So I want to hear what you guys do for your kids to get ready for them to go back to school.
Oh, so many fun things.
What are some of your rituals?
You done the ritual the most.
They all like, what?
Yeah,
You know, my mom always took a picture on the front step with our backpack. And so I tried to do that with my kids, but I'm horrible. I always forget. So I'm not really very good at doing like the rituals for back to school.
Yeah.
But we definitely go shopping and buy them a lot of school stuff, and I'm always really grateful that we can do that. The one thing that I noticed with this particular time of school shopping is Shay and I had a conversation about backpacks. I'm like, well, yeah, we're gonna go get him a new backpack. And he's like, they don't need a new backpack. And I'm like, well, why not? He's like, because I had the same backpack all through my school. And I was like, really? And it was interesting that for me, that was one of the traditions that I grew up, is my parents or my mom would let us get a new backpack every year. But for him, he had one good, like high quality backpack that he was able to keep through all his school years. So I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
Which is probably smarter. Just get a good backpack that'll last you for a while. Even if it's a cheap one, if you can make it last, then make it last.
My kids could not make their backpacks. They're so filthy by like the middle of the year.
No, I believe it.
I don't know, because they
the
drag
backpacks?
them.
The backpack.
I love picking out backpacks with the kids. I
do
think it's
too.
so fun.
There's just so many fun ones.
I know.
I'm like, can I buy a backpack?
I know. I really always want one.
When I was in school, our books were so heavy.
Oh, God,
Do they
yes.
still have like super duper heavy books? I mean, I remember it was like 30 pounds on my backpack.
I think now they have iPads.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say,
I was
they
gonna-
probably
yeah,
carry
what's it?
iPads.
I'm sure it's way different now.
My kids are all still in elementary school,
Right,
so no, they don't really have heavy backpacks.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think in high school they do. But nowadays they have like iPads and laptops.
I know,
They
it's
do.
so different.
They
That's so
do.
crazy to me.
They do. Well, what we used to do in my family growing up is we always went last minute. We went and after everything had been picked through and got stuff that was on sale. So I'll probably be doing some of the same stuff for Marcus. The difference at his school is the teachers buy all the school supplies and we the parents reimburse them, which they're taking away all of my fun.
Right.
I'm kind of upset about that, but they were like, well, you can get him the same stuff for at home for him to have. So that's what we're going to get him, a set of what he'll have at school to use at home. Because I got him a little desk because that's new. He'll be sitting at a desk and that's new for him.
He's a big boy now.
Hey, no. So I got him a little desk for his room and going to keep all of his school supplies in there. And so he'll get used to when he's at school sitting at a desk, and then when he's at home doing homework, he has a place to do his homework at. So I'm excited to do that because I'm hoping that when we go to pick out the stuff, he'll start to get excited about, you know, we've never done anything like this before. So I'm hoping he's like, oh, these are mine. I hope so. I hope it works.
I think so. I think that always makes my kids get excited when we go and pick out school supplies and things.
Yeah, they love it, and they think they need way more than they do.
I'm sure.
You really don't need as much as the kids. I need a sparkly one, and I also need 7 types of glue, and I'm like, no, you don't.
Yeah. The great thing, actually, I mean, talking about Target, is they usually have lists of the things that the students actually need, which is so helpful.
And then they have it stocked.
Yeah, and then, they have the individual grades and everything. So that's great. My mom did the same thing, took pictures of us by our door. I take pictures at the school. Even if we're running late, which we usually are, even on the first day of school, I make them stop and take a picture. And I always love to get the school name in there just to keep a record, because this will be the 3rd school that Braylee's been to. So, you know, got a little collection of schools under our belts. So
I know, I always feel bad. My kids have changed schools a lot, but I kind of feel like it's good for them.
It is.
Because they have to learn to make new friends each time.
Right.
And for me, I went to the same school all until I graduated. So I knew everybody, and I never really had to make new friends unless somebody new came in. So I think it's good for them to realize that they can make friends and that's okay.
I
Yeah,
agree.
I went to 12 different schools from K to 12.
Really?
Wait,
Oh
12
yeah,
different schools?
12 different
So
schools.
a different school
And that
every
made you
year?
so fabulous.
Almost.
Look at you.
Sometimes there was like a double in one year where I would switch in the middle of the year.
Okay.
So I was able to adapt very
Yeah.
quickly and get to, and where I've done the exact opposite with my son, where he was at the same preschool for 3 years. So now he's like, none of my friends are coming with me, and I'm like, no, they're not. I don't know what to tell you. They're not
Do they
going.
ever get nervous? Like, do your kids ever express any like anxiety, nerves?
Yeah.
Like just.
Yes.
I mean, because I remember just going from elementary to junior high, it was like exciting and nerve-wracking,
Yeah.
and it was such a big deal. I mean, I know they're not at that level
Mm-hmm.
yet of
Yeah,
school.
Rayleigh's nervous this year. She
Yeah.
was just telling me the other day that she was nervous about going to a new school. Luckily, all of the cousins will be together.
Yeah, that's
I
really
hope
cool.
that school is ready.
Yeah.
For all of the little butler
Sorry.
children running around.
Yeah.
But Gage was just saying the other day, I get to play with all the cousins at break and or at recess, and I said, yeah. He said, we can all go and find each other.
Oh,
Oh,
I love
that's
that.
cute.
Yeah.
Hopefully they still want to.
I know. I hope
I'm
so,
like,
too.
oh, that's my cousin.
I just worry about like the older ones, like the little ones are gonna be like, hey, we want to play with you, and they're gonna be
Yeah.
like, I'm really cool, stop making me look not cool.
I
Yep.
tell my kids, I'm like, you play with all of your friends and you be nice and you don't ostracize anybody. Like I give them talks about like, if you would feel uncomfortable, I mean, think about how you would feel. Treat others the way you want to be treated. That's what I try to do.
So ladies, that brings us to our topic of the day, which is setting our kids up for school year success. Of course, as moms, we all want our little babies to reach their full potential. So how do you guys like mentally, emotionally prepare for sending those little boys, well, they're all, the little boys and girls, to school. I can't even imagine when that day comes for me. Like, I mean,
Right.
I'm not even thinking about it. It's so far in the future. I'm not even gonna
Don't
let
think
my
about
mind
it
go
because
there
it
at
will
all.
be here that fast.
So fast.
So just before I get there, somebody came up to me when I was walking. They were like, "Don't blink, because when you do, your baby's gonna be in college." And I was like, "Don't you say that to me, boy.
Don't you say that.
Don't you put that on me." Yeah, I want to enjoy every moment, so I'm not even going there. But how do you guys? Yeah, tell me.
Well, I want to know you, Angel.
Well, you know what? What we've been doing this summer is praying every morning. Look, I'm going to cry.
Oh no, I'm such a softie. I can't
know,
look
I
at
can't
you.
look at
I'm a
you.
weeping willow.
I'm going to cry. Praying that he'd be brave and that he'll be smart and that he'll be friendly. And so then he prays for the exact same thing. He's like, I pray that you make me brave and that you make
my
me
gosh.
smart and that I make friends. And so I'm just like, oh, my baby's growing up. So,
Flood. Oh, goodness.
Breathing through the nose. Breathing through the nose.
oh, goodness. So that is how mentally we are trying to prepare is that that he knows when he gets nervous or scared that he can just pray to himself really quickly and boom, you're brave. So that's what we've been trying to do, to instill into him that it doesn't matter how scary it is, it'll be okay.
That is so awesome.
Sorry.
You are such a good mom.
Oh, goodness, I am going to be a weeping willow standing outside of his classroom because the teacher's not going to let us in, just crying at the window like, are you okay? Mommy's here. But yeah,
That's so sweet.
that's what we've been doing. to
Oh,
prepare
you're so
for first
sweet,
day.
Angel.
I know we're all like,
Breathing through the nose.
I think
Breathing
that-
through the nose. It sucks the tears back.
it's so real though, like that that separation the first time they go off to school, because it's a stepping stone for them, showing you that they're growing up.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it is really hard. I think you're a great mom, and he's gonna do great. I think one way to help set them up for that too is by talking to them, preparing them. Like he's had a school that he's been going to, or
Yeah.
a daycare, and so he knows that there is a possibility of making friends.
Right.
It's just that first transition will be a little scary. but-
Right. Because that's the whole thing. He's like, well, who's going to be my best friend? And I'm like, you don't need a best friend yet. You just need friends. You just got to introduce yourself. Ask them what their name is. So I'm hoping he just gets that, like, nobody's a stranger to me. I can ask anybody their name. I think it's the whole thing is he knows there's going to be really big kids there. And so, I mean, I know that he'll get the hang of it after about a week or two, but I feel bad that he is so nervous. And I'm like, I wish I could just take that from him.
Right.
Right.
Of course.
It's really interesting how different kids can be too. Like Avia, she was like, I am leaving, Mom, stop talking to me. I'm going to school. Like, I've got it.
Right.
I got
see
it.
that about that one. Yeah.
And then, Emmy on the other hand was like, are you going to come in with me? Are you going to sit with me? And I'm like, oh, I love that. I love that she needs me, but I also love that Avia was able to go because it made it easier for me.
Right.
Right, yeah.
Because I didn't worry so much about her.
That's how it was with Braylee too. So my first, it was like easy. Braylee was ready. I felt like she was ready. She was older for her age, so it was good. And with Gage, he seemed a little more nervous. And then we got there, and he didn't want to hold my hand all the way. I talked about this last year, how he wanted to be a big boy, and he actually did a lot better and made friends so fast. And even though he's a little more shy, and it was really good. But yeah,
You guys are so sweet. You actually like sit and think about how to prepare your
Yeah,
kids.
that's something
for
that you have
success.
to do.
That's- I mean, I never even thought about that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
That's- you guys are
Colette
such
and I
good
were talking this
mommies.
morning about the different love languages each of our kids have and how we want to know about the love languages more, because I feel like that helps with school too, to know what will make our kids have more confidence. Is it the right way to talk to each one of them, because some kids like praise, or all kids like praise, but to know what works for each individual kid, because different things work for different kids.
No.
Am I just like, am I making sense? You see what
I
we're doing?
totally get what you're
If
saying.
I put it in sections, does that make sense for everyone?
Yes.
No,
But you know what
totally.
I'm saying? You
Right.
really need to know their individual personalities.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you make it more fun, or do you make
Right.
it more special, or do you sit down, or do they need to read out loud, or do you need to read with them? Like, there's so much that you need to know, and
Right.
every kid is so different.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
You guys are such good mommies.
Oh, you're so sweet. You're so sweet. Well, yeah, I just, I want him to enjoy school. My husband did not enjoy kindergarten at all, and I don't want him to have the same experience as his dad did. Granted, I can't control it, but
Right.
I want to make sure socially and emotionally, definitely, that he's strong, but also even academically. I want to make sure that I'm in constant contact with this teacher. If he's falling behind in anything, or if he's excelling in anything, that I'm there to support that. And whatever tools I have at home, or that I need to get at home, that I'm able to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Wow,
most
you're on it,
important,
Angel.
too.
Yeah.
Like, just being an involved parent, like whether your kid is slower or faster at learning, as long as you're there to watch them and help them along the way, that's going to mean so much.
Yeah.
See, I was lucky because when I went to school, my brother was always there. So I knew I at least had one person to like have my back, or if something horrible happened, it's like my brother's there. So do you feel like it's easier for your kids to go to school, like for you guys, when they know their older siblings are there, like the younger ones?
definitely.
They feel like protected a little bit more?
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's good for the school, too, because they know what to expect from my
Yeah.
family. Oh, it's another butler. We know. We have to watch out. No. I think it really helps. When Gavin first went to school, he was really easygoing and
Yeah.
laid back. I don't feel like he was a scared, nervous child, but he was just kind of like, okay, this is interesting. And I think he did really well. And I was really grateful for that, because being a first-time mom and watching them go to school for the first time is really scary.
Yes, I'm sure.
Like, oh no, are they gonna like them? Are they gonna pee their pants on the first day or something?
Right.
Oh no. But then when you know that your siblings are there together, like I actually asked Gavin, like, will you just, maybe help Emmy get to her classroom if she can't find it, or, if I can't be there or something. They're really helpful. It helps to have them there together.
Yeah.
Braylee walked Gage to class every morning, because I would drop them off, and then she would walk
That's
him,
sweet.
Yeah.
which was so sweet. And I remember I was the oldest, and I always thought it was so cool to have my little sister in the same school that I was in. And I think Braylee feels that way too. Like, this is my little
awesome.
brother.
Yeah.
In fact, there was a kid that was bullying Gage last year, a 5th grader, and he was in kindergarten. And Braylee took care of that.
That's right.
She was like, no.
That's right.
In fact,
I
like,
can't believe a 5th grader
we were
would
like,
bully
what
little
happened,
Gage.
Braylee? Because
Yeah.
Braylee can be a little dramatic. But she was like, no one's going to mess with my brother.
Good.
So, yeah, it is really nice. I feel comfort knowing that
Yeah.
Braylee's there
Right.
and that she can take care of Gage, because,
Yeah.
she take care of that.
So we've talked about how you guys prepare your kids for the first day of school. Is there anything that you guys do yourselves, like a little happy dance when they go away? No, I'm kidding. But is there anything you guys do?
I mean, I feel like before school starts, to mentally prepare, I always like to shop.
Yeah,
It's
sounds good.
soothing, and I love to buy back to school clothes. It's so exciting for me to get the kids all decked out in new things, and they're new for a minute, and then they get trashed throughout the
Or they
school
grow,
year.
like in a month.
I know they grow
Right.
so fast, and I always love doing a little fashion show with them.
Oh,
The
fun.
Angel and I just did
Yes,
one on
we
my
did.
channel with our
Yes.
kids, and they were so cute. I always love doing a fashion show, so I kind of prepare mentally for that. It's like, okay, it's back to school time. This is happening.
Nice.
This is the first year that I'm actually excited for the kids to go to
Yeah.
school. They've been bickering a lot, so I feel okay about them going, but I know I know that I'm going to be sad in a month when they're gone and the house is too quiet and I have to do everything for Winston. I'm not going to be like, Braylee, bring me down a diaper.
Yeah. So what all do you do?
Well, it's always a little bit bittersweet because I do miss them when they're gone. But for a while, it's like, okay, now we can get back into a schedule where, you know, I can make dinner at a certain time because I know where you guys are going to be. And it's always good to get back into the swing of things. And I like to, at least 2 or 3 weeks before school, start getting my kids to bed earlier because that is so hard.
So smart. I miss
in
that
the summertime. Like if you go up right until the day before school, okay, now you're going to bed at 8, and they're like, what?
Yeah.
So trying to get that transition of getting them to bed on time, and then trying to mentally prepare the younger ones. You know, like you're going to be gone for a long time during the day, and let's pack a lot of snacks and just make sure that they're prepared. But emotionally, I feel like it's always a little nice until like a month, and then I'm like, where's my baby? I want my kids home. Yeah.
Well, Marcus is always gone because he's either in camp or in preschool. So him being gone won't be so difficult for me to deal with, but him going to someplace new. So we're going to follow the bus probably the first week of school, and I'm okay with that. It's cool. And he'll know that I'm there when he gets off the bus because I will go up to them and hug and give him a kiss. So I'm hoping that as that continues, like for the first week, I'll get to see him feeling more used to the whole experience of being at school. And something else that I did, his school offered a camp, like a pre-K camp. So he was there for a whole week. So he got to know the campus. He got to know where everything is.
Yeah.
So I think for me, that was more of a thing for me because I felt like, okay, I'm not just leaving him someplace completely new that he doesn't really know.
Yeah.
He now knows the campus and also knows a couple of kids. You know, he doesn't remember anybody's name, but at least he'll know their faces. So that, he'll feel a little more comfortable, which will then make me feel more comfortable.
That's smart.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's really good.
I'm nervous this year because the kids will be riding a school bus for the first time ever. I'm a little nervous about that. I loved riding the school bus and the kids are excited, but I'm nervous for some reason.
Yeah.
It's like,
Sending them off right there instead of at the school, knowing that they're there.
right.
But I think it's always okay. You know, one thing I forgot that last year Shaytards did for me, because I get emotional, but I sort of internalize things. So even if I was emotional about the kids going off for school, I don't really talk about it. And I remember particularly feeling like, you know, I had 3 kids that were going off to school, and he was so sweet to me. I think it was the first or second day of school, and I had dropped them off, and I, you know, was there with him, but I didn't want to be that hovering mom because he's older. He was in 4th grade, and so I was like, okay, I don't want to hover. I don't want to like give me a kiss and a hug if you don't want to. And he came up and he gave me a big hug and he kissed me, and I was like, he still loves me. Because, you know, he wasn't too cool to have his mom there with him, so that meant a lot to me. So I didn't. You know, I felt like I was trying to help prepare him, but he helped me a lot with that.
Oh, I think he knew it. He was like, I'm going to give my mama some
could
love.
tell. I'm like, you're not too cool, thank you.
Right.
We would love to see your kids' first day of school moments. I'm sure they look so cute. So share them on Instagram and use the hashtag first day of school and TMV so we can see those cute little kids going off to school. Thank you so much to Target for this fabulous episode.
Thank you.
And we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.